Good evening, everyone. It's time for another round of Dual Destinies. Last time it's been a while. Heart medication, right. Okay. Deity pearls. Let's see when I hear and be with Orlin Rifle. Be ready for a telecast during the trial tomorrow. Good luck to both of you. Thanks, Pearly. That way when we prove Sasha innocent, she can see Orlin right away. I'd love to see Sasha and Orlin back together again, both free and clear. But before that can happen, I have to prove Sasha's innocence. I thought we had gotten to the end of the chapter, but maybe not. So yeah, last time we did some more investigating. We uncovered, I think we uncovered some things. I'll have to go back over the court record. Let's see. Oh, yeah. So Penguin had some food. Penguin also ate the charm that might belong to Azura Summer's boyfriend. Okay. Yeah, this is the one where he's like apparently climbing into the water instead of out of the water. Not sure what happened there. There's the sign. And there was this grumpy guy. I feel like it's either going to be this guy or we're going to end up, because they mentioned this center for dangerous animals or something. I feel like if we end up going to a third day, we're probably going to meet those guys, and one of them's probably going to be responsible. But we'll see what happens. What? The ship's doctor and Azura were romantically involved? Well, that's my theory, but I don't actually know if it's really true. Azura would never get involved with that god-awful ship's doctor. But I do admit, they were friends. Would Azura send Dr. Crab videos? I wonder. Videos? What do you mean? Azura used to send her boyfriend videos of herself teaching the Orca tricks. Somebody else might actually know some of the... You have to help Azura take the videos on her TV phone. This is an interesting bit of information. So TV phones can shoot videos too, huh? My dumb phone sure can. TV phones are amazing. They can even record sounds you and I can't hear. All the equipment we use at Shipshape Aquarium is high-tech. Ship's doctor sends away for all kinds of electronics. So the high-tech stuff is Dr. Crab's doing, huh? Anyway, I still highly doubt Azura's boyfriend was the ship's doctor. Dr. Crab found a charm yesterday, and he was really shaken by it. Hey, leave that alone. It belonged to Azura. It's Azura's charm going Rifle's stomach. The charm looked just like your keepsake of Azura. Yeah, well, she did say she and her boyfriend had matching charms. The ship's doctor and Azura really a couple? I can't believe it. Dr. Crab will be called as a witness today. There's still so many unanswered questions. I hope to solve them all in today's trial. I believe in you two. I know you can do it. And we will, Sasha. We promise. Alright, time to get to the bottom of this. Court is now in session for the trial of Sasha Buckler. Defense is ready. Ah. Ready. Now I'm completely thrown off. Very good. Appears both the prosecution and defense are ready. Yesterday it was proven that the Orca was not guilty and that the victim fell to his death. Prosecutor Blackwell, did your investigation of the Orca pool area turn up anything? It did. We found a bloodstain from the victim at the bottom of the pool. On this. Oh my, what a frightening looking rock. And you say it has a bloodstain on it? Just looking at it gives me the willies. So we can assume that there was no water in the pool at the time of the incident. Very good. What a clever little deduction. Oh, well, it's nice to get a compliment from the prosecution for a change. Prosecutor Blackwell has completely tamed the judge with his carrot and stick approach. I guess I should have brought a few carrots of my own. Right, moving along, I prepared a witness. Buckler was the only one who entered that room when there was no water in the pool. The witness will prove that. Come to the stand, witness. Name and occupation. Dr. Herman Sniper, stay in there. And who is that cute little creature? Such a restless bird, quite unlike Taka. Thank you, Taka. Chalk one up for Taka. He shut Sniper out with a single sound. Yeah. Kinda feel like a baby penguin is not gonna want to stick his head out when there's a hawk around. Son of a gun. Dr. Herman Crab, Shipshape Aquarium's veterinarian. And could you tell us the name of your cute little friend there as well? Judge! Your Honor, please focus on the case. I mean, it is a cute penguin. It's important to learn all we can about the witness. This is Sniper. She's the offspring of a penguin named Rifle. Sniper lives in my hair. She might cause commotion now and then, but please try to ignore her. I was originally going to call the animal keeper to the stand, but he refused to testify, so I settled on the veterinarian. Now tell us, why was the defendant in the Orca pool room when the water was drained? In the early morning hours of July 20th, Sasha was cleaning the Orca pool room. Sasha and Jack Shipley, the owner, were scheduled to do the cleaning together. During cleaning, the pool water is drained. While the cleaning was going on, Marlon was taking care of the Orca in the show pool. The pool water would never be drained unless the pool was being cleaned. And your claim is the victim was made to fall to his death during the cleaning. Only Buckler and the owner had the security card necessary to enter the Orca pool room. We already know from the security company's record of card usage that the defendant was in the Orca pool room during the time of cleaning. Witnesses' testimony and the record of the security card usage are conclusive evidence. So no one beside the defendant was at the scene and the water in the pool was drained. Uh-oh, the judge already seems to be leaning toward the other side. You have to strike fast. Your Honor, we're ready for our cross-examination now. Oh, yes, of course. Please proceed then. The power of youth comes in handy at times like these.
Hold it!
It's cleaning done so early in the morning, essentially the middle of the night. Our aquarium is open every day of the year without break, so of course the cleaning has to be done at night when there are no visitors. No days off, is that it? I can relate to that. Yeah, I guess prisoners don't get to take days off. You sure are different around our office, huh, boss? You don't have to rub it in quite so enthusiastically. So, was the defendant cleaning alone? No. Let's see. They were scheduled to do it together. Miss Buckler said that Mr. Shipley never showed up to help with the cleaning. I don't know anything about that. All I know is what was on the schedule. Maybe they changed plans. They probably felt awkward with each other after the fight. In any case, there's no proof the victim entered the orca pool during the room during cleaning.
Objection!
If you don't stop your yammering, I will pull your tongue out and barbecue it. Yeah, you have to be so violent. Proof or not, the victim must have entered the pool room during cleaning. Witness, tell him why. Tag must have entered the orca pool room. The reason I think so is because... Record of card usage shows this.
Hold it!
Would you mean to say that the record shows both of their cards being used? No, only Sasha's, but they must have gone in together. Jack's body was found in that room, so that's the only logical explanation. We talked about this just yesterday. What purpose does that brain of yours serve? You're even more bird-brained than Rifle.
Objection!
Witness, I will not allow birds to be belittled in my presence. Limit your disparaging comments to the defense alone. So I get disparaged either way, great. Bird lover, huh? I guess we're not destined to become best friends. That's fine. All I need is for you to talk about the state of the scene during cleaning. Alright, fine. I don't know. I think the two of them were paid for each other. During cleaning, the pool water is drained.
Hold it!
As cleaning's done, the pool drained of water. That's right. They used the hoist there to lower themselves to the bottom of the pool. They do regular cleaning with water in the pool, but this was an intensive session. I never cleaned my own lab, however. Don't you think it might be due then? I guess I can't talk though. Well, Sasha and Marlon come in and clean it for me on occasion. But I'm too busy myself. I have animals to look after. Like this one, for example. Such an adorable little creature. It lends cheer to this bleak courtroom. The reaction to Taco is very different, as I recall. Yeah, it's because Taco, like, attacked him and sat on his head. No, Taka's a fine bird too, of course. Please continue, Dr. Crab, quickly now. As I was saying, Sasha was cleaning the pool room. Cleaning was going on. Marlon was taking care of the orca at the show pool.
Hold it!
So Orla was moved all the way over to the show pool. Why is that? Well, it wouldn't do to get her covered in cleanser, would it? Of course she was moved. You don't take a bath while you're cleaning the tub, do you? Excellent point. I usually clean the tub after I take a bath myself. I was assigned to clean the shower stalls yesterday. Cleaner than an Edo bathhouse by the time I was done. His Prosecutor Blackwell is the fastidious type. I polished it so well, I bet the inmates are slipping and sliding all over right about now. Maybe he's not so much the fastidious type as the prankster type. Somehow, I don't think that's it either. Anyway, cleaning the orca pool is just like cleaning the tub. Water would never be drained unless the pool was being cleaned.
Hold it!
There's no possibility it would be drained at any time other than during cleaning? None. Shut down with a single word. Why are you so certain? Think about it. If the pool water were drained, what would happen to the orca? Poor thing. Which side are you on, Athena? Exactly, young lady. Without water, Orla would be alright for a short period of time, but anything longer than that would pose serious risks. She could die. So the fact that Orla is alive and well is proof the water wasn't drained on her. That's right. The orca pool and the show stage pool are next door to each other. A hoist runs between the two to move the orca and equipment back and forth. When intensive cleaning is done, the orca is moved to the show stage pool first, so the water is only drained while the pool is being cleaned. Please add that information to your testimony. I guess you're right. Son of a gun. Why did you harp on it so? Defense loves to make a fuss over nothing. You do like to stir up trouble, don't you, Mr. Lawyer? Just like this one. How rude. Don't compare Mr. Wright to Sniper. Granted, his suit may make him look a little like a penguin. Athena, is that what she really thinks of me? Yeah, wish Sniper and Miss Baby Chick would both stop all peeping and cheeping. Miss Baby Chick? How dare you? No, wait. That actually sounds pretty cute. Wow, he's got away with calling a young woman a chick in court. Now we have to show that the water could have been drained at some other time. Well, Sasha will be the only one under suspicion. Oh.
Objection!
If water in the pool is drained, you say the orca could die. But is that necessarily true? What are you talking about? There is a way to let the water out without harming the orca, isn't there? Your Honor, please allow me to submit this photograph. Oh, this is... As you can see, there is no water around the Skull Rock area. With the pool in this state, the victim could have been made to fall to his death. However, there is water on the other side of the partition, and Orla looks just fine. Son of a gun. In other words, the partition is set up at the bottom of the pool. The water can be drained without doing Orla any harm, implying the water could have been drained at a time other than during cleaning. Yes, there is that possibility. Dr. Crab is shaking. Looks like he has something to hide. Could have something to do with the calendar note about meeting with the victim? Might. I'll submit to the judge. Your Honor, please take a look at this calendar. Ah, you waved that around in court yesterday. No need to drag out your souvenir today. Actually, I would like you to make note of the entry for the day of the incident. Let me see here. Meet the captain at the Orca Pool at 7 a.m. This note is about a meeting plan with the victim. What? The defense would like to argue that at the time of that meeting, the pool may have been drained of its water. Whose calendar is that? It belongs to Dr. Herman Crab. Isn't that right, Dr. Crab? Son of a gun. So you suspect me, do you? What's the meaning of this calendar entry, Dr. Crab? Explain yourself. Fine. I was supposed to meet Jack at the Orca Pool at that time, but ended up not going. You're saying you simply broke your promise? You can't get out of it that easily. I believe you have some explaining to do.
Objection!
Your blade is sharper than I thought, right, Dono? But your cut was shallow. A mere surface scratch. There's a saying amongst prisoners, do not see, hear, nor speak to smooth-talking lawyers. If you think the witness is suspicious, show your proof. The calendar alone isn't good enough, huh? I have to prove the victim could have fallen to his death at that 7 a.m. meeting time. Let's put our heads together, boss. The victim could have fallen during cleaning when the pool was completely drained. Or, using the partition, it could have been at 7 a.m. with the water partially drained. What would be the major difference in the circumstance between these two possibilities? Well, the circumstance was different. The answer could really tell us something. The circumstance was different between the two possibilities of cleaning and 7 a.m. I mean, the Orca was there, because didn't it have some, like... Didn't it have some luminol reactions on it? So... maybe something happened. The murder occurred at a time other than during cleaning. The Orca must have been there. Oh, you're right. And that would mean that... Orla witnessed it. What's this? You're sheathing your sword so soon? Stop yammering to each other and show me how you wield your sword. Alright then, my sword is poised and ready. The murder was committed at a time other than during cleaning time. Then Orla must have been present at the scene. If I can prove that the murder happened right in front of Orla, then I can prove that Miss Buckler is not guilty. Actually, I think this is doable because of the luminol reactions. Mr. Bright, are you implying that the Orca was a witness to the crime? That is exactly what I'm implying. And how do you intend to prove the Orca witnessed the murder? What are you going to do? Put the Orca on the stand and cross-examine her? The defense will present evidence. The defense will present evidence. Evidence that will prove Orla witnessed the murder. Going to present evidence? Knowing the defense, I thought surely you would try to cross-examine the Orca. I must say I'm a little disappointed. Gee, sorry to get your hopes up, Your Honor. Very well, let's see this evidence then. It shows the murder took place right in front of the Orca. I mean, that has to be it. There's no other... Like, the luminol reactions are only on the rock and on the Orca, which means that if there was a lot of blood that got splashed around, it would have been right then.
Take that!
This photo indicates where we discovered luminol reactions yesterday. By accident, we got some of the luminol testing fluid on Orla. We were then very surprised to see luminol reactions on Orla's body.
Objection!
So what of it? There's nothing odd about that. As was discussed in yesterday's trial, the Orca was bleeding. Traces of the Orca's blood were also found on the skull rock. The Orca must have injured itself when she rammed the rock. The cloud of blood Mr. Plume saw showed headbutting the skull rock, wasn't it? Yeah, but it also is on her backside, which wouldn't have been caused by ramming it. Luminol reactions you saw in the Orca are most likely from her headbutting.
Objection!
But what's odd is the position of those bloodstains. Please take a good look at the photograph. Yesterday, Mr. Plume said the blood disappeared when Orla put on the hat. Testimony indicated that Orla's injuries were under the hat area. However, these luminol reactions are in two entirely separate areas from her injuries. The bloodstains can't be Orla's own blood from when she was headbutting. Then where did the blood come from? It's my firm belief that it's the victim's blood. The victim was killed right in front of Orla, and the victim's blood splattered onto Orla's body. Seems like it fits. Now it finally all makes sense. Orla was a witness to the murder, so that's why... Oh, something's wrong with Orla. You're right, she's listless, and she's sinking. There's one more fact that indicates Orla was a witness to the murder. There's more? I was afraid Orla could somehow reveal what she witnessed. And that's why they did what they did. It's the only thing that makes sense. To present that evidence.
Take that!
The defense would like to submit this evidence. What's this? Looks like some sort of medicine. It's a sleeping drug, Your Honor. A very powerful one. The sleeping drug was discovered in Orla's stomach yesterday. The culprit tried to drown Orla by putting her into a deep sleep. Wait. But wouldn't the capsule need to be broken up and partially digested for the... You know what, I'm not going to think about it. Drown the Orca? But why? I don't know. Are you trying to tell this court the perpetrator tried to kill the Orca off to prevent a witness from talking? You really expected to defeat me with that feeble attack? The sword has been drawn. I'm not about to sheathe my evidence now. Orcas have an enormous potential for intelligence. The possibility that Orla could somehow manage to reveal the truth can't be denied. The corporate believed in this possibility, and that's why they tried to kill her. Dr. Herman Crab, you purchased the sleeping drug, didn't you? What? Does this mean the veterinarian tried to do away with the orca? Who a veterinarian would better know how to disguise an orca's death. Could even prevent the police from examining Orla's body. Why, you're actually accusing me of trying to murder the orca? How dare you? How dare you slander the noble profession of veterinarian? My goodness, one could cut the tension in this courtroom with a knife. Yes, I admit to purchasing that sleeping drug. However, it was subsequently stolen from my lab. It's such a flimsy excuse. It's the truth. What else can I say? Any one of the crew members could have entered my lab. I guess that weakens my evidence quite a bit. Besides, think about it for a minute. Who was it that treated Orla after she swallowed the drug? It was I. As I recall, it took you quite a while to give that treatment. You didn't even come on your own. I had to go get you. Son of a gun, you just remember all sorts of little details, don't you, Mr. Lawyer? You work a pool in the lab are far apart. It's little wonder you didn't know Orla's condition.
Objection!
Didn't know? That's highly doubtful. As far apart as they were, Dr. Crab still had a way to know all about Orla's condition. The defense would like to submit evidence that the witness knew about Orla's condition. I mean, it's gotta be this thing.
Take that!
The torpedo. God, you just had to bring that up, didn't you? This advanced data system, surely you have known Orla's condition.
Objection!
Wait just 1 minute. What is this torpedo? Dr. Crab, how dare you bring a weapon of mass destruction into my courtroom? The torpedo, or teleobservation real-time pertinent data organizer, is a data system. Until yesterday, only Dr. Crab and Mr. Shipley knew about the torpedo. It isn't legally approved in this country, so it was kept secret from the police. It's illegal? Dr. Crab, I demand an explanation. Son of a gun, you and your big mouth, Mr. Lawyer. Yes, it's true. I'm using a legal system to monitor the creatures at the aquarium. The penguin is poking him with the stethoscope. The system uses sensors like these, and yes, there's one in the orca pool, too. These sensors send sound waves through the water to gather data on the creatures. If it finds abnormalities in their condition, the torpedo alerts me with a sound. Oh my goodness, how very high-tech. If it's illegal, I will not turn a blind eye. This matter will be appropriately dealt with at a separate time. Now then, Mr. Wright, please continue. The torpedo, I'm sure Dr. Crab noticed the danger Orla was in. He made no attempt to come to her aid on his own, and the reason for that is that Dr. Crab wanted Orla dead. The torpedo didn't give me a warning message. That's why I didn't know there was anything wrong with Orla. The sensor in the orca pool wasn't working during the police's investigation.
Objection!
You prove that statement?
Objection!
Really laughing it up here. What's with him? I guess this is also high-tech for Prosecutor Blackwell that it's making him a little funny. Funny? Yes, I find this all very funny. Witness, those sensors send sound waves to the water, correct? But what if there isn't any water? Then they wouldn't work. They would automatically switch off. I see. And where is the sensor in the orca pool located? I don't know. Jack is the one who attached it for me. You don't know? Then I will tell you. The police found a sensor just like the one you just showed us. They found it attached to the table at the bottom of the pool. Table? mean the table in this photograph? That's right. Don't you get it yet, right, Dunno? The table is on the Skull Rock side of the partition. It's affixed to the bottom of the pool and can't be moved. No, and so if the water was drained from the Skull Rock side of the pool... Precisely. Without water, the torpedo sensor would not work. Witness, when did that sensor automatically switch off? Hang on, I'll look it up. The only times lately were during cleaning 2 days ago and the investigation yesterday. Of course I knew the pool would be drained while they cleaned it. I had no idea they drained it for the investigation. No one let me know. That's why I didn't know about Orla's condition yesterday. So Dr. Crab really did want to save Orla. Did you hear that, right, Dono? Yes, the water can be drained without harm to the orca if the partition is used. But if the water is drained from the Skull Rock side, the sensor turns itself off. The sensor was always on except for during the cleaning and the investigation. It means there must have been water in the pool at all other times. It was never drained. In other words, no one but the defendant could have committed the crime. Whoops. Let's set ourselves up for that one, apparently. Order in the court. This completely shatters the defense's argument. Yeah, but... The fact still remains that Orla was nearly killed with Dr. Crab's sleeping drug.
Objection!
But aren't you forgetting one important question? When was the sleeping drug given to the orca? But you're right. That hasn't been discussed yet, has it? Orca Pool is the scene of the murder. The police were there all day yesterday. The only way to give the drug to the orca undetected is to put it in her food. Yesterday, someone gave the orca food during the trial. Someone did. I'm afraid I don't remember that. You don't remember? You're not that old yet, are you? It was the defendant, Sasha Buckler. So your argument is that Miss Buckler is the one who gave the orca the drug. The prosecution's argument hasn't changed. Buckler made the victim fall to his death and then manipulated the orca to pin it on her. Still not satisfied, she further planned to kill the orca with the sleeping drug. Any reports of Dr. Crab feeding Orla. Maybe he didn't have a hand in Orla's attempted murder after all. Is there anybody else who could have fed Orla besides Sasha? If it's true the defendant is the one who fed the sleeping drug to the orca, then that places even more suspicion on her than ever.
Objection!
Defense objects to the prosecution's claims. Oh well, you still haven't admitted defeat. Prosecutor Blackwell, I don't appreciate the way you only mention the parts that are convenient for you. What do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? The prosecutor failed to mention that Miss Buckler wasn't the only one to feed Orla. As you will all recall, there was another person who gave Orla food. Oh, you mean that person. Looks like Athena remembers now, too. Oh, Mr. Wright, no. I don't want to believe it either. We can't ignore the truth. The other person who fed Orla during the trial was... I think it was Marlin? See, the animal keeper, he would have been there. Yeah, I think, well, she was in the... I think it's him.
Take that!
Orla was found not guilty yesterday. Marlon Rhymes gave the orca a large quantity of food. If the sleeping drug was mixed in with that food, it could be given to the orca without arousing police suspicion. As you mentioned, I do remember that flip-flopper feeding the orca. Oh boy.
Objection!
So you remembered, did you? I see the time for a true sword fight is come. I call Marlon Rhymes to the stand. Mr. Lawyer, both Miss Orca Lover and Marlon Rhymes are important members of our crew. I don't want to suspect either of them, but I'm ready to accept whatever truth you find. Here, take this. That charm. It's the charm that matches the one that Sir Summers had, isn't it? So you and Miss Summers were romantically involved, weren't you, Dr. Crab? What? No, of course not. Sorry to disappoint you, but this doesn't belong to me. At the time, I thought it was Azura's, so I grabbed it. But it wasn't hers. Now it's up to you, Mr. Lawyer, to figure out whose charm it is. I will. Thank you, Dr. Crab. After all, I'm interested in the outcome of this trial, too. Now then, please summon Marlon Rhymes to the witness stand. What's going on? What's everybody making that face for? I've been watching the trial and nobody's told me anything. Marlon Rhymes, you were under suspicion for the attempted murder of the Orca. I see. Well, if it's already out... Oh. Is he really going to admit it? Fine, I'll tell the truth. Sasha's lying to protect that Orca. 3:30 a.m. on the 20th, there was still water in the Orca pool. The incident happened before the Orca was moved to the show pool. Orla killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water. Though I thought the Orca should pay the consequences. Huh. Excuse me. Didn't see that testimony coming. Wait just 1 minute. Yesterday Orla was proven innocent. Besides, you said Orla was in the show pool during the cleaning. I didn't want to sell Sasha out. That's why I didn't tell the truth. The fact is, all three of us, the captain, Sasha, and me, were cleaning the pool room. Dr. Crab and Miss Buckler both said you were at the show stage. Well, the only thing Dr. Crab knew about the cleaning was what I told him. I didn't give him a whole lot of details either. Maybe he misunderstood. And Sasha's lying to protect the Orca. She can't tell the truth. Sasha put blood on the skull rock herself to make a fake blood stain. I think it's pretty brave of her to let herself get arrested to protect the Orca. Mr. Rhymes, how can you lie like that? It's the truth. Besides, wouldn't it be better for you if I wasn't lying? If the Orca did it, you win your case. What? This is all very hard to believe. But if Mr. Rhymes' story is true, Miss Buckler would be innocent and the Orca would be the killer. Meaning, if we turned our backs on Orla, we could save Sasha. Having a witness lie to save your own client? What a dirty, underhanded tactic, right, Dono?
Objection!
Yesterday, the defense proved Orla was not guilty. We have no intention of going back on our assertions now. What are you saying, Mr. Wright? All you gotta do is admit the Orca did it and Sasha goes free. Isn't the lawyer supposed to act in his client's best interest? But that wouldn't be acting in our interest. Miss Buckler believes Orla is innocent. And we, of course, believe that Miss Buckler herself is innocent, too. Acting in the client's best interest is an important part of our job as lawyers. Using dirty means to win a verdict would destroy our client's faith in us. That's right. We believe in both Miss Buckler's and Orla's innocence. I just don't understand how you can treat a human and an Orca equally. Sasha and the Orca, you can only save one of them. I don't know about that. I think I can save them both. All I have to do is disprove your testimony. Oh yeah? Then go ahead and try. I will do just that. If I can't tear down his testimony, I won't be able to save both of them. I have to find a weak spot and start tearing.
Hold it!
Exactly do you claim Miss Buckler's lying about? Sasha put that bloodstain on the skull rock and stuff herself as false evidence. She left fake traces to try and save the Orca.
Objection!
Witness, if you keep talking nonsense, I will seal your mouth shut. Defense supports the prosecution's idea. Mr. Wright, my testimony helps your client. You ought to be happy. I want to save both Orla and Miss Buckler. I won't accept anything less. Now, if that's understood, please continue with your testimony. Fine.
Hold it!
The victim was killed. How much water was in the pool? It was before the pool was drained for cleaning, so it was full. You went in the orchid pool room and saw this yourself. Mr. Crab said that you were at the show stage.
Objection!
But it's possible that Dr. Crab was misinformed or that he misunderstood. The witness already explained this. Why are you taking this meaningless tack? If you want to play games, Taka here would be more than happy to play with you. Be careful how we press the witness. Taka is watching us like a hawk. Witness, continue.
Hold it!
So you're saying the incident took place before the cleaning began? Yeah, I guess so. Captain, Sasha, and I were going to do the cleaning together. It's much more efficient than trying to have just one person do it alone. The defense's case, however, more lawyers means simply more lawyers, nothing more. What? You're one to talk. All you have on your side is a cantankerous bird. What about me? I'm up here all alone. Are you people done? Need a witness to keep you focused? For shame, right, don't know. Hey, I was the only one who kept my mouth shut. Anyway, the incident happened in the orca pool room before the cleaning got started. Killed the captain by bashing him 30 feet high and making him slam into the water.
Hold it!
Can an orca even do that? Send a person flying up in the air like that? Yep, of course. I've seen orcas bashing seals 60 feet in the air. So naturally, Orla could do that to the captain, too. Frightening thought, and you mention it so casually, Mr. Rhymes. Well, what else can I say? It's the truth. Yeah, but doesn't that conflict with the autopsy report? Something about that statement that bothers me. Also, was the pool room 30 feet high? Like when you hit the ceiling? With the orca, right? Exactly.
Hold it!
That's why you put the sleeping drug in all this food. Ho ho, Sasha could be found guilty if we let it be, but if the orca died, Sasha could go free. Thought if the orca was already dead, Sasha might tell the truth and free herself. Might seem cruel, but a man killing an animal has to be put down. Cooper must have tried to do away with Orla because she was a witness to the crime. If Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he try to protect Sasha? Sensing some very complex emotions from Mr. Rhymes. I need more information before I can do a proper analysis. When I tear down his testimony, then I guess I have to present evidence. Of course, we don't believe Mr. Rhymes' testimony, but he's suggesting the murder took place in the orca pool. Unless we can disprove that, we won't be able to save both Orla and Sasha. Alright, so... Wait, where's the autopsy report? Oh, okay. Shipley's data. Got it.
Objection!
When lies are piled on top of each other, contradictions start to emerge. This time is no different. saying there's some kind of inconsistency in my testimony? There's exactly what I'm saying. You claimed the victim was sent flying about 30 feet in the air. But the autopsy report shows the apparent cause of death to be from a 65-foot fall. What? Additionally, in your testimony a moment ago, you said at 3:30 a.m. on the 20th there was still water in the orca pool. The pool being 65 feet deep, there's only 30 feet between the water and ceiling. If the pool was full of water, as you claim, it would be impossible for the victim to fall about 65 feet, as the autopsy states. Grimes claimed he was in the orca pool room so he could make these statements. But the truth must be he was at the show stage, just as Dr. Crab and Sasha testified. Doesn't that mean he has an alibi, though, if he was in somewhere else entirely? Turns back around to the orca didn't do it. I didn't believe the witness's testimony from the outset. I'm grateful to you, right, Dono, for shutting the witness up. As I thought, the only person who could have killed the victim is Sasha Buckler. The fact still remains whether the witness was the one who tried to kill the orca or not. Son of a... Rives is right about one thing. His testimony was advantageous to our case. But pointing out the contradiction in his statement will only drive us into a corner. Suspicion against Miss Buckler is now deepened. Uh-oh, if I don't do something fast, the judge is going to find Sasha guilty. Mr. Wright, isn't there anything we can do? There has to be a way to prove Sasha's innocent. At a time like this, the thing to do is turn my thinking around. Instead of trying to prove that Sasha couldn't have done it, I have to think about what made it possible for somebody else to have done it. As long as the crime scene is the orca pool room, and Sasha's the only one who could have committed the crime. Does the defense have no objections? Very well. I will give my...
Hold it!
Not so fast. Hold off on that verdict. You were so quiet, Mr. Wright. Do you have something to say now? The defense has a counter-argument. You do? Pitiful. Such desperation. You look pale. Are you sure you're prepared to make this counter-argument? The worst of times are when the lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. I'll never forget those words, no matter how many years go by. Even though it's probably just a bluff, I'll give it to him with a smile. What if the scene of the crime was somewhere else? Scene of the crime? Somewhere else? What? Finding fault with the police investigation now? As I understand it, the prosecution's argument is as follows. The scene of the crime was the orca pool room. Only the defendant and victim entered that room when there was no water in the pool. Therefore, only a defendant could have committed the crime. That is correct. But if the scene of the crime was not the orca pool room, then somebody other than the defendant could have committed the crime. Are you sure you know where you're going with this? I might not be too sure, but I can't back down now. Mr. Wright, I hope that I'm wrong, but this isn't one of your bluffs by any chance. Of course not. The judge knows me far too well. And do you have a theory on where the actual scene of the crime was? Yes, of course. Think, Phoenix, think. Think of a place, other than the orca pool room, where one could fall to one's death. I mean, if it's not in the orca pool, it's gotta be in the show pool. Drained of water at some point as well. If so, it would be just as possible to fall to one's death there as the orca pool. The rock was moved. What you're doing is a disgrace to your profession. Sincerely hope you have some basis for what you're suggesting. Of course I do. It will, as soon as I think of something. The victim's body was found in the orca pool. How do you explain that?
Objection!
How about if, after the victim was killed in the show stage pool, his body was moved to the orca pool? How about if... What kind of presentation of your argument is that? You better have a reasonable explanation of how the body was moved. No turning back now. I have to think of the way the body could have been moved. I mean... These guys? The hoist runs between the orca pool room and the show stage. The stretcher can be hung from the hoist to move things like Orla or the Skull Rock. The stretcher could have also been used to move a dead body. Yes, if the stretcher can move the orca or the Skull Rock, it seems likely it could also move a dead body as well. Wow, somehow that worked. I just might be able to pull this off. If the show pool was the scene of the crime, somebody else could have done it.
Objection!
You desperately spew conjecture, and now you even make up a crime scene. Oh boy. Not again. You don't have the soul of a warrior. You don't deserve to be on the battlefield. And even your fabrication is half-baked. It's a disgrace. What do you mean half-baked? The hoist can be operated from the orca pool room only. And the only person who entered the orca pool room was the Although, once the victim died, anyone could use his keycard. The body gets moved. Anyone can move it with the defendant herself. Not necessarily. Back to the defendant, no matter which pool it was. Meaning, I can't clear Sasha either way. Sasha said she moved Orla in the Skull Rock, and I believe her. So it could be possible that she moved the body herself. Oh, if he was inside the rock, and that's why the orca bashed the rock open to free him. Yeah, I think I've got something. Alright, fine. Let's hear this objection then. Well, my objection is... I can't admit I haven't thought of one. Mr. Wright, you just felt like saying you had an objection, didn't you? Yes, Your Honor. I just feel like giving you a penalty. Aww. The hoist could only be operated from the orca pool. I still think if he died outside of the pool room and had his card on him, anyone could have picked the card up. I don't think Sasha moved Orla in the Skull Rock, so that must mean Sasha moved the body without realizing. That is also a possibility. Don't see any problems with Prosecutor Blackwell's claim per se. Miss Buckler must have been the one who moved the body. What? Right, are you admitting the defendant committed the murder? No, I'm simply conceding that she was the only one who could have moved the body. However, I contend Miss Buckler was not aware that this is what she was doing. The culprit made her move it, unbeknownst to her. Yeah, because if it was in the rock... It must have been moved there somehow. Yeah, it's gotta be in the rock. I don't know if there's anything that says whether or not it's hollow. We can't really examine it. But that seems like the most obvious explanation. The Skull Rock. Buckler told me yesterday that she moved the Skull Rock when she was cleaning. The only two things Miss Buckler moved the orca pool were Orla and the Skull Rock. I would like to suggest the victims... Yep. And inside the rock, the body could have been moved to the orca pool with hoist. The show stage, Marlon Rhymes loaded the skull rock with the body inside, and then he used the walkie-talkie to let Miss Buckler know the rock was loaded. Miss Buckler operated the hoist from the orca pool room and moved the stretcher. She moved the rock without knowing the body was inside. I think there's enough space inside the skull rock kind of body. Indicates it could be possible. Oh, yeah, because it talks about a treasure of gold coins hiding in there. Suppose the rock is most likely hollow. What's more, if the body was inside the skull rock, it explains the remaining unanswered questions. Please take a look at the security footage of the scene Mr. Plume witnessed. Where did the body that Mr. Plume saw come from? Please recall, what was Orla doing to the skull rock at this time? She was headbutting it. Oh, that's right. Orla's ramming released the body from the skull rock. The body had been placed inside the skull rock and moved there from the show stage. I assert the real murder scene was in fact the show stage.
Silence!
Rubbish is this now? You don't have a single scrap of evidence.
Objection!
It's easy enough to verify what I say. Take a look inside the skull rock for yourself. You should find some kind of proof that the body was there. Blood, fibers, hair. Mr. Wright, that was incredible. You turned things completely around. And to think, it all started with that half-baked bluff, too. That was a close one. Did you really have to add that last bit? The murder took place at the show stage, and who was the perpetrator? It is naturally the person who was at the show stage. Mr. Rhymes, weren't you the one who loaded the skull rock onto the stretcher at the show stage? Wow, Mr. Wright, that was some pretty smart brain work you did there. To be honest, I never thought you could figure it out. I tried to protect myself, but I guess it came back to bite me. Are you confessing you gave false testimony before, Mr. Rhymes? That's perjury. Yeah, what Mr. Wright says is true. The body was inside the skull rock. And it's true the captain was killed in the show pool, too. What? He's admitting it that easily? This time, I'm going to tell you the whole truth about what happened that day. The orca shot the captain up into the air. The captain came down and slammed into the water. I can still remember the spectators' screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. Mr. Plume witnessed the orca find the body. I freaked. Wait, the spectator screams? If you're going to give testimony like that, why did I bother putting you on the stand? All I'm doing is telling the truth. That day, Sasha wanted to do the old version of the Swashbuckler Spectacular. So I suggested she hide the body in the skull rock and move it to the orca pool. I was going to figure out what to do with the body after the show was over. Orca's the one that killed the captain. It wasn't me, and it wasn't Sasha. But if Mr. Rhymes is the culprit, why would he protect Sasha? False charges against Sasha would mean he himself would escape suspicion, so why? What if you leave this to me? Athena, do you mean you heard something? Yep, discord in Mr. Rhymes' heart. So that means somewhere in his testimony there's an inconsistency in his emotions. What is going on here? Time to get to the bottom of this part. What's this? What are you getting, Athena? This testimony is pretty complex. Feelings of deep sadness and intense anger are being called up. These two emotions appear to be running out of control. If control emotions, is that going to be a problem? Well, yeah. What are natural spots in his testimony he isn't even aware of? probe for the cause of his out-of-control emotions then. So it's starting to seem like something really crazy happened. Oh, she's explaining the rules in case you haven't seen this before in the DLC. Which can be recalled incorrectly. If you still haven't found anything after all the statements and manages, I'll help. The orca shot the captain up in the air. The captain came down and slammed in the water. Still remember the spectator screams clearly. All Sasha did was move the body. She was trying to protect the orca. As the plume witnessed the orca finding the body, freaked. At the same time, let's concentrate on each one. One odd statement I was wondering about. I highly doubt there were any... Yeah, that was kind of weird. Because, like... Like, whenever this happened, like, if it happened yesterday, that means they had to have somehow kept everyone from finding out about this for, like, the past, like, 12 hours. Yeah, I know how to probe. I doubt there were any spectators there at the show stage when the owner died. If there had been, those witnesses would have told us the true crime scene right away. What? Oh, right, of course. I just made a mistake. A mistake, huh? Maybe the spectators' part was what made him sad? Why would he make that mistake saying spectators were there? How strange. The only thing I can think of is that he was mixing up one memory with another. Wait a minute. Deeply imprinted. Did that happen during a show on July 20th? Situation where an orca killed somebody and there were spectators. Yeah. Reason why it's just memories is...
Take that!
Mr. Rhymes, I think I know what happened. Could you have been mixing up what happened a year ago with this incident? Maybe that's why you slipped and said the owner was killed in front of spectators. What? How did you... You're right. I did see the orca kill somebody a year ago. But what about it? I was just one of the spectators. Really? Just another spectator? There must be a reason why you feel great sadness about that incident last.
Silence!
Stop this nonsensical scrutiny of feelings. Just present evidence to prove your point. Boss, do we have any kind of evidence that would back us up here? There is one piece that comes to mind that might explain his sadness. Yeah, I think it might be this thing. So that's where this came from.
Take that!
Sarah Summers died an accidental death 1 year ago. This is her boyfriend's charm. Hey, what are you doing with that charm? It was found in Rifle's stomach yesterday. Judging by your reaction, I believe this charm belongs to you. Well, that sucks. I said the word charm, he was very rattled. Better examine this charm a little more. An idea, let's look inside it. And? What's this? Oh no. Hey, this is... Summers and Marlin Rhymes, yup. Oh, that sucks. This Rhymes, you and Azura Summers were a couple, weren't you? So what if we were a couple? It doesn't have anything to do with the captain's case. I believe you saw the orca kill your girlfriend. That's the cause of your sadness. Isn't that emotion of yours connected to the current case?
Silence!
I don't think you revealed is the witness's connection to the victim of last year's incident. What does the witness's past have to do with the case at hand? I don't know yet. We managed to pinpoint the source of his sadness. And I think I know what the source of his anger might be as well. Stemming from that. Yeah, I think I know what it is. I mean, it's either this one or the last one.
Got it!
Mr. Rhymes, you're angry with Orla, aren't you? That's why he's been trying to pin it on the whale the whole time. Because he blames Orla for his girlfriend's death a year ago. Mr. Rhymes has a reason to be mad. I don't know if we have proof. I don't think we have anything yet. I don't think we have... We have a lot of circumstantial evidence. But I don't know that we have proof. We don't have a reason. No. Discord. Proof that Mr. Rhymes has a reason to be mad. The evidence we just took a look at would come in handy here. Charm indicates yours or something. Okay, well that is it then. So you've been angry at all. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if that was proof, but that's... Yeah, I guess that works. Admit it, I'll never forgive that orca. Sora's dead and that orca is still swimming around happy as a clam. I became an animal keeper just so I could prove that orca is a killer. You're right, I want that orca to pay. There, do you feel good tracking up a person's past, but it still doesn't change anything? He's right. I disagree, it does change things. His out-of-control emotion quieted down. Now I should be able to find out the truth behind that emotion. Came down and slammed into the water. Still remember the captain's dead body. Since she was near the body, she was trying to protect the orca. Mr. Bloom witnessed the orca finding the body. I freaked. Okay, so he's really angry here, which makes sense. And then he gets really sad because Captain died. Though he seems less sad here, which doesn't seem to make sense. No, this isn't it. Isn't anything strange here? I don't know. I think maybe we made a... yeah. Person. Let's see if we can find the inconsistencies towards his emotions. Maybe why he isn't sadder here? No. Maybe the fact that he's still really angry even though Orla isn't in this picture. Maybe I'm just not good at emotions. Man, he's still mad here? I mean, before we get to the last one, I might as well just rule this one out at this point, because I've tried everything else. Yeah, I didn't think it was this one. I think he would be sadder, maybe? Or angrier? Or maybe surprised here. Maybe that's it. The fact that he's not surprised is weird. Okay, that's what it is. So Mr. Plume witnessed the orca finding the body you freed. Yeah, okay. I mean, he was sad and angry. So, that kind of fits. It's just, I guess, yeah, also a measure of surprise that doesn't seem to be there. Mr. Plume is a witness, Orla was guaranteed to be accused of the murder. It didn't work out exactly as you'd hoped. In order to have Orla put down, you made sure Mr. Plume witnessed that scene. That's a good point. Okay, that's a weird side shot of him. Figured all that out, did you? Mr. Rhymes, are you admitting it? I didn't really want to have to fight anybody but the orca. But you leave me no choice. What is happening? What? He just went Super Saiyan, apparently. Now it's time to get serious. And he picked up a Marlin. Oh, wait, meat grass eaters stay free. What? Okay then. What is going on? Where did this pirate fellow come from? It's a completely different person. I have ordered Prosecutor Blackwell yell at us. He's just like, the heck's going on? Prosecutor Blackwell is at a loss for words. So I plan to have that wench be a witness? You caught me out. It'd be true that I thought Urga's murderous ways should be found out. Oh man, he's totally become a pirate now. That'd be why I schemed to have De Plume see the body. So you admit it? You deliberately framed Orla? Alright, be true. But would skin be that off of anybody's nose? That Orca be a murdering scurvy dog. I may have a grudge against that Orca, but I always felt grateful toward the captain. The Orca murdered Azura and the captain, so of course she should walk the plank. Yeah, I don't have a response to that. I agree it wouldn't make any sense for him to kill the owner. Why would he? But his hatred for Orla, on the other hand, comes through loud and clear. Wait a minute. If killing Mr. Shipley doesn't make sense, who would it make sense for Rhymes to kill? Maybe my theory's been all wrong. Your Honor, I think I just became aware of a new fact. Oh? What is that? We know about Mr. Rhymes' intense hatred of Orla. It turns the premise we've been arguing on its ear. I will now reveal the identity of the individual Mr. Rhymes meant to kill from the Okay, so he's been trying to kill the Orca from the start?
Take that!
The witness's intent was to kill the Orca. Exactly. The witness's intended victim was not Jack Shipley. The start was all a scheme to kill Orla. The Orca was his true target. Jack Shipley is the one who died. The Orca is alive and quite well. He's right. He wanted to kill the Orca, and yet it was Jack Shipley who fell to his death. How did that happen? Wait a minute. What if Mr. Rhymes wanting to kill Orla was somehow connected to Mr. Shipley's death? I guess? Lost for words, are you? What happened to your bravado a moment ago? Enough of these reckless words without any basis in fact.
Objection!
Not reckless words. The basis for my claim is at the real murder scene, the show pool. What are you talking about? It's my contention that two incidents happened at the show pool. The attempted murder of the Orca, and the victim falling to his death. First of all, in order to kill the Orca, Mr. Rhymes removed something from the scene. By doing so, he made it possible for Mr. Shipley to fall to his death. He did what now? Mr. Wright, what did Rhymes remove in an attempt to kill Orla? The water? Did you drain the water from the pool to try and... Oh, wait a minute. Because weren't... If Sasha and Shipley were in the Orca room, and he was out here with the Orca, if he removed the water, because there's no partition at the bottom of this pool, he could remove the water and that would kill Orla.
Take that!
Tell me you're trying to claim he tried to kill the Orca by draining the pool water. It's exactly what I'm claiming. To help the defendant with the cleaning, Marlon Rhymes took charge of Orla. The plan to kill Orla in the show pool. And because the pool water was drained, it made it possible for Jack Shipley to fall to his death in the show pool. tried to kill the orca, you say? Just going to town on that marlin. He even proved there was an area drop of water in the pool. That day I was simply looking after the orca. Why would I have the monstrous thought of killing it?
Objection!
You claimed you were looking after Orla in the early morning hours of July 20th. I don't think you were doing a very good job of it. After all, Orla wasn't given anything to eat during that time. Yeah, there is... I mean... That's not definite proof. It is an idea that something was up. How would you know such a thing? No, because of Orla's record here in the torpedo data system. The system continuously records data on the subjects it monitors. Orla's record, we can tell exactly when she ate or didn't eat. Sink me, nobody ever told me about that dastardly contraption. Yeah, but if there were no water in the show pool, wouldn't that mean the sensors wouldn't work? Oh, but then they would just shut down. They would just shut down and they wouldn't report anything. Only a few of the ship-shape aquarium staff know about this system. According to Orla's records, she never ate in those early morning hours of the 20th. I would know that if the pool was drained. Or maybe that was after the pool was drained. Planned to kill Orla, and that's why you didn't feed her.
Silence!
You're wasting time. What proof do you have of that? Perhaps the orca simply wasn't hungry. He's right. I don't have any proof. Yeah, it's... If they didn't eat, then that would create an inconsistency. Where did her fish go? Her fish? Good question. Where did it disappear to? Fish, what does it matter? What relevance does it have to the case? This is stalling with inconsequential questions. Delving in the depths of their stomach and delve into the case.
Objection!
I think this is going to turn out to be connected, but it's an issue of great importance, I think. What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? The fish disappeared. Somebody must have eaten it. So, came to the show stage and ate Orla's fish. Right. I mean, it's gotta be Rifle. Trying to introduce yet another suspect. No, we're not a suspect. Taka won't look favorably upon it. I don't plan to utter any careless remarks. Whether my remarks will actually be related to the case or not, I don't yet know. Don't worry, boss. If Taka comes this way, I'll fend him off. But you try to keep your remarks careful. Orla's fish disappeared. Somebody must have visited this... Right. I mean, it'd have to be... The penguin did it! First an orca, now a penguin? Why would you be saying such a thing, Mr. Lawyer? I'd see Rifle during the wee early morning hours. Do you have any proof that Rifle visited the show stage? If you be a lawyer of any salt, show me your evidence. Rifle's feet were... Oh, right. Well, they made it kind of easy on... They kind of made it easy on me this time. Because, this is a really obvious clue. Proof that Rifle visited the show stage is,
Take that!
her feet are on the sign. Stars are actually starfish. Miss Buckler painted the sign. But a couple of them aren't fish. She left this sign at the show stage to dry. Mr. Rhymes kept an eye on the sign for Miss Buckler while the paint was drying. Aye, that be true, but what be your point? On the sign is proof that Rifle visited the show stage. Proof of the penguin's visit? Yeah. It's right here. Come on, Judge, really? This seems kind of obvious.
Take that!
Well, the pink starfish are shaped a little differently from the others. Look almost like little leaves. Leaf-like shapes are actually Rifle's footprints. What cute little pink penguin prints. So they're footprints. What of them? Marlon Rhymes was watching over the sign at the show stage while the paint dried, and during that time the penguin paid a visit. According to the torpedo data system, we know that Rifle ate something that morning of the 20th. Most likely, Rifle ate the fish meant for Orla, who was at the show stage. Orla's snack was a small quantity of fish. Even a penguin could have eaten it all. Begad, Rifle ate Orla's fish. Who be ye to say Rifle ignored his fish? She could have picked up food anywhere. That doesn't change the fact that I really was at the show stage. After all, I had to help move the Skull Rock. It couldn't have been moved without me. The witness claims he never saw the penguin. How do you explain this contradiction? Both Mr. Rhymes and Rifle were at the show stage, but Mr. Rhymes didn't see her. So where could Mr. Rhymes have been at the time? I mean, presumably, for the task, I could disprove this witness's testimony for you. Maybe the prosecutor Blackwell Shawster will be declared guilty. Can't let him interrupt this line of reasoning. Let's try to figure out things like Rifle she show. Okay. So Mr. Rhymes is at the show stage, keeping an eye on Orla and the sign. We know it must be true because he helped move the Skull Rock. And Rifle came in and walked over the side. Wouldn't if he was right there. Let's think about what Mr. Rhymes could have been. I mean, Rifle wouldn't have been seen if Rhymes was like down here.
Take that!
If the pool was drained. You're right, if he was inside the pool, he wouldn't have noticed Rifle. So you're saying Mr. Rhymes was underwater the whole time Rifle was eating? No, not underwater. When I think about what he was trying to do, the answer is clear. Now I'm finally starting to get the whole picture. Just like yesterday, must you two always be whispering to each other? Why don't you admit that resorting to a penguin will get you no...
Objection!
I don't know about that. The fact that Mr. Rhymes didn't notice Rifle is such a small inconsistency. But it's a key point that proves what Mr. Rhymes is trying to do. Penguin's a key point. If Rifle came to visit while Mr. Rhymes was at the bottom of this pool, he would have never noticed Rifle. Arr. Critters can be out of the water for a short time without sustaining damage, but if they're out of the water for a long time, they weaken and eventually die. In order to kill Orla, Mr. Rhymes had to drain the pool. And while the pool was drained of water, Mr. Shipley fell to his... Yeah, but how did Mr. Shipley fall to his death if he was in a completely different room at the time? That's what I don't get. Without water in the pool, a person could be made to fall 65 feet, sure. Mr. Rhymes probably wondered what to do. If he continued with his plan to kill Orla, how would he dispose of Mr. Shipley's body? So he devised a plan to kill two birds with one stone. How? Mr. Rhymes went down to the bottom of the pool and put the victim's body in the rock. He then had Miss Buckler move the rock and the body together.
Silence!
And the witness made the defendant do this somehow without rousing her suspicion. That's right. Mr. Shipley told Miss Buckler that she couldn't perform in the new show. Miss Buckler became upset and wanted to switch back to the old version of the show. So Mr. Rhymes conveniently suggested that she take and hide a prop for the new show. Mr. Rhymes then manipulated Orla using her singing and lifesaver tricks. He schemed to have Orla find the body while Miss DePlume would be standing witness. He saddled Orla with the false charge of murder so that Orla would be put down. Is he leaking? The fact that the witness didn't see the penguin shows that when Rifle visited the show stage, Rhymes was putting the body in the rock. The bottom of the pool, that is. I would have thought the presence of the penguin could prove the witness's actions. I mean, this is a little further. That needs a little bit more.
Silence!
If you think you've won this battle, you're sorely mistaken. Your theory is based on the notion that the witness could manipulate the orca. Can you control the orca's actions? Of course not. What kind of bilge be that? I'd be but a simple animal keeper. My memory serves. Wasn't Miss Buckler the only one who could issue commands to the orca? Yeah, but those videos. If you wish to do battle with a witness, you'll need a home blade. Where's your sword of evidence that Marlon Wright... Yeah, I've got it, I think. It's funny when he slices his hair, another one falls into place. To manipulate Orla in order for his plan to work. How can I prove it? It appears that this line of reasoning is... not yet. Well, it appears that I was mistaken. Athena? I've analyzed the hearts of all kinds of people. Enough experience to see when I look into your heart that you haven't given up. So that objection was my way of speaking up for your heart. She's right. Why would I become a lawyer again, only to give up? I have to keep fighting. Athena, thank you. Your help. I remember the old right way. Your Honor, I'm not finished with presenting my argument. Do you have anything else to ask this witness? Cross-examined all the witnesses and presented all your evidence.
Objection!
All the witnesses? I don't think so. I haven't cross-examined the most important one, the central figure in both cases. Central figure? One involved in not only the case a year ago, but this current case too. Never called her as a witness, but it's time to do so now. Man, you tell the court of me. Central figure in both cases, huh? I mean... obviously it's the Penguin. I guess it's... Are we really doing this?
Take that!
Defense calls the central figure in both cases Orla the Orca. Had to cross-examine an orca. Cross-examine an orca? You must be addled. It's be impossible, says I.
Silence!
This absurdity is beyond the pale. How do you expect to question an orca and a creature incapable of speech?
Objection!
Orca is intricately involved in this case. I have every right to cross-examine her. Besides, even if she can't speak, I think cross-examining her will be invaluable. How? Do what you will then. If you fail to garner anything from this little exercise with the orca, I hope you realize the reward for your efforts will be the defendant's guilty verdict. I'm ready and confident. So, cross-examining... I mean, just... Well... I guess we don't have the videos, so we can't just make them magically appear. All we have to do is figure out Mr. Rhymes manipulated Orla. That's right, now it's Orla's turn to help us save Sasha. Orca defendant yesterday and Orca witness today. This is truly unprecedented. But even though this is highly unusual, I'm prepared to allow it. Of course, we've cross-examined parrots before. Why not an orca? I kind of want to keep going, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish in time tonight because I do have work in the morning. So I think I am going to have to call it here, unfortunately. Felt like a short stream, but I guess it actually went for a bit. But yeah, I think we're going to have to call it here. But hey, I think this is going to be it then. Next time, I think we'll probably be able to wrap this up, hopefully? I don't know. We'll see what happens. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.